Hi, and thanks for checking out our video. I want to take just a few minutes and explain the nuts and bolts of our program. It's real important that you watch this video, especially if you've been disqualified, turned down by a bank, or you think you have to rent for the rest of your life. I need you to watch and pay close attention to this video. However, if you have good credit or you've been qualified by a lender here recently, you don't have to watch this video. You can just go to the Contact Us page and get in touch with us, and we'd be more than happy to assist you. I know you really called looking for some information about a rent-to-own home, and most of the people that we talk to every day, they don't really think about the own part of the rent-to-own. Actually, that's what we're more interested in. We don't just want to rent a property. We want to sell the property, and we want to make you the homeowner. The rent-to-own is more of a fallback program that we have where we allow you to go ahead, move into the house, and pay the rent while we're working on the financing portion. But if you're not interested in owning this home, then this program really won't work for you. And there's nothing wrong with renting, don't get me wrong. It's just that's not the way our rent-to-own program works. I like to refer to the rent-to-own program a little differently for a lot of people, and it makes a little more sense when they hear it this way. It's not necessarily rent-to-own as much as it is rent-till-own. Like I said, you know, we'll put you into the property, we'll let you start paying rent, but the whole time you're paying rent, we have to be moving towards home ownership and making you the homeowner. We've talked to a lot of customers who've been given information by the bank that they've gone to, and just simply by referring them to another lender that we work with, sometimes can make the difference between getting approved and disapproved. And actually that's the part that we like, because when somebody comes into us and they feel like there's no hope, and we just simply look at them and say you went to the wrong place and you're approved, we like to see the smiles on their face. Sometimes it's really that easy. You've gone to the wrong place, you've gotten the wrong information, and we just need to turn you around and get you pointed off in the right direction. Bankruptcy is a big one. We talk to a lot of people who think that because they had a bankruptcy situation in the past that they're going to be years and years and years before they get a loan. That's not necessarily true at all. In fact, in some cases it's just a short period of time, maybe a year, and you're ready for another mortgage loan. On average, usually about 2 years after bankruptcy, and we can get you a good mortgage loan. Credit is another one that we hear a lot of. Just because somebody's told you that your credit's bad, or maybe you've looked on the free sites and you think your credit's bad, doesn't necessarily mean that it's as bad as what you think. A lot of people, after applying for a cell phone or trying to buy a car or going to get a credit card, if they've been turned down because of a credit issue, they think that they're definitely not going to qualify for a home mortgage, when actually in a lot of cases it's easier to get a home mortgage than it is to get those items. But bad credit's one that we have to deal with, and we have a lot of good tools to remedy that situation if that's what you're facing. Cash is another big one that we hear from a lot of our customers. Most customers think that they have to have a lot of cash saved up to be able to buy a house. That's not the case at all, and in fact here in Ohio there's a pretty popular lending program that allows a buyer to buy a home with only a 1% down payment. So in terms of an $85,000 house, you're talking about an $850 down payment. In a lot of cases that's less than what you're going to pay for deposit to go on continuing to rent a home. In this case, you get a home loan for that same $850 down, and you're going to get monthly payments, total payments that are hundreds of dollars cheaper than Social Security income is another one that we hear a lot of. A lot of people feel that because their source of income is a monthly Social Security check, that they won't qualify for a loan based on that income. That's not true at all. Actually, Social Security income is one of the more stable incomes in the eyes of the lender, and they give you a little bonus by adding 25% to whatever that income is. For those of you who are just coming out of school, a lot of students sometimes feel like because they haven't been on a job or they haven't been employed and they've just graduated from school and they just started a job, that's going to knock them out as well. That's not true at all. If you've gone to school and you've found employment in the field that you've trained for, we're going to be able to do something for you just as long as we can get the credit, conforming. The very first step in our program is you deciding if you want to own a home. Without knowing for sure and not being fully committed towards home ownership, none of this will work. Okay, as we said earlier, to be able to view the properties or submit a form, it's going to require a password. The password is comprised of 2 words, and the first word is you. Once you've determined that yes, you would like to own a home and you just feel like there's some issues that keep you from owning a home, the very next step would be to initiate what's called a credit lending review. The cost to you is $16. That's the only obligation at this point that you're under. And what we're going to do is we pull right in our office a mortgage lending credit report. Once we get that, we can sit down, we can go through the information, and we can see if there's any possibilities to get you a home loan today under your current situation. If there's not, then we have all the information right in front of us. We can develop a plan of attack as to what we need to do to make you lendable. And what we're going to look at is our lenders have so many different programs. We're going to choose the one that's going to be the easiest route to get you a good fixed rate, low percentage rate, possibly a very low down payment home mortgage loan and make you the homeowner. But we have to start with the credit lending review. There's nothing that we can do without taking that very first initial step, and like I said, it's $16 to you. At the very least, what you will get is a good, clear answer as to what it's going to take to become a homeowner, if not today, then tomorrow. Step 2 in our program is going to be a consultation with you. We're going to present to you our findings from the credit lending review. This can be done in our office, this can be done over the phone, but basically what we're going to do is we're going to let you know if we have programs in our network that can work with you now, or if we have to do some work on you, we're going to present to you the work that needs to be done, cost, time, estimates, etc., etc. Once the credit lending review is completed, we've got all the information that we need to be able to recommend to you what needs to be done to get you approved. At this point, we could be headed off into a number of different directions depending on what the credit report tells us and what the lender's requirements are. Some of this is very easy, some of it's very quick, and then on the other hand we have some issues that do take a lot of time and cost some money, a little bit of money. But it all really comes down to how much you're willing to invest in becoming a homeowner and firing your landlord. After step 2, you could be heading in one of 2 different areas. Maybe you're ready now and you just don't realize it. Even if the bank's already told you no, we may have a program for you to get you a good loan. So at that point, it's a matter of either writing a contract on the property that we have and you can move in, or we go out and find the property that you want. But once we do the credit lending review, if we have a program that'll work with you, we will get pre-approval papers on you. One of the challenges that we oftentimes have to go to work on is negative credit items that are reporting on a credit bureau. We have a number of different things that we can do to fix those items. Sometimes it's done in as little as 48 hours, sometimes it takes 30 days. That's our credit restoration program. If we have to go down that road and do some credit restoration on you, you're looking at a cost of about $99 to set it up, and then $49 a month for the next 2 months, and that completes the credit repair program, at least the first portion of it. One of the other challenges that we sometimes have to work on for our customers is adding positive credit to the credit report. We have a company that will add a $5,000 revolving line of credit. They do this for a cost, and the cost is $295. They have 2 payment options. You can pay for it all up front with no monthly billing, or you can pay $195 and then $20 a month for the next 5 months. By adding this account, we've always seen a positive bump in a person's credit score, and sometimes that makes the difference very quickly in getting approved. Some of the other challenges that we work on for our customers is you may have had some problems in the past that resulted in collections that have to be settled and paid. A lot of people are very intimidated with talking to collection companies. We can help you get those settled, and believe it or not, a lot of collection companies will settle for pennies on the dollar. For instance, if you have $1,000 collection out there, it is very possible that you could send them $300 or $400 and they're going to call it even. Sometimes a lot of people want to try to deal with these credit issues on their own. The only thing I can say is really don't try this at home. Just like, you know, on a lot of the TV shows and stuntmen, leave it up to the pros. Our office and our staff is equipped to deal with these kinds of issues probably a little more efficiently and definitely in ways that make sure that we don't go backwards on score. One of the things that a lot of people don't realize, if they don't understand how a score is produced, it's very easy to damage your credit score by doing what seems to be the right thing. As a for instance, if you pay an old collection, if you have a collection, say it's 3-4 years old, and you go and pay it, one would think that it's going to do good things to your credit report, but if everything happens the way that it's supposed to, it's going to have a negative impact on your score. So we really recommend that you let us handle these things. However, you know, some people just insist on it. At the very least, make sure you consult with us so that you can learn a few insider tips and tricks before you go off and try to deal with these issues on your own. After we present to you what we feel needs to be done to get you there quickly, we'll lay out all the details. It's really up to you at that point. How badly do you want to own a home? How badly do you want to get rid of the landlord? How badly do you want to be in control of your own home and determine who can stay, determine the pets that you have, determine your own colors that you put on the walls? All of these things, you know, the landlord kind of keeps you under a leash, and you're not really free in your own home. I hope this video was really helpful, and I hope it answered some questions that you might have about a program and how it works. Earlier in the video I had mentioned 2 passwords. What these are going to be needed for is to move on to the next step, to be able to initiate the credit lending review and then see the property details themselves. You're going to have to enter a password into the password lock. The first password about the middle of the video was you. The second piece to that is win. So what you'll need to do is click on the link to submit a form. It's going to ask you for a password. You just simply type in "you win" with no spaces, and then that'll direct you either to the form submission to start the lending review, or you can go check out the details on the property that you called about. Should you have any questions, I encourage you to go back to the contact us page, submit a contact us form with your question, and we'll get to you as soon as possible. Thanks for listening, and really this is just the tip of what we do. This is a nutshell. You know, we could go on and on all day about it, but we just simply, you know, there's not enough time to do that. You'll really be impressed with our company and the things that we do, and the ways that we handle people and the results that we get. There's also a number of other videos on this site, and I really encourage you to check them out too. These are all real videos. None of this is make-believe, and it's what we do every day. So we're here for you, and we hope you take the first step, and we hope we can travel down this road together and make you a homeowner.